Hey, good afternoon. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing with today's post-close grain and livestock comments. Red day in the grains. We're getting ready for the small grains report tomorrow from the USDA. I know a lot of you had October options on, let them expire, and now you're going into this just hoping for the best. I think that's a mistake. You can get an option just for the rest of the week if you're concerned about what's going on here. And we're to the point in the year where you're got a pretty good idea what's in the field and what you're going to grow. So um, I think that that's a good strategy, especially if you think that you're going to be selling beans here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, like apparently everybody else on the planet is going to be doing in the United States. Story out in the wire today pointing out how your American farmers pretty much undersold when it comes to all of their 2025 stuff. And that's going to be, it's a game of chicken. Who's going to sell first? Are you going to store? Are you going to store and hold? Are you going to store without a floor? Storing and ignoring, I guess, if you don't care about potential continued downslide in prices, then that's a strategy. I would say if you're going to store it, or for goodness sakes, if you're going to pay 5 cents a month to store it anyhow, you better hedge that grain because you're already giving up 15, 20 cents over the next 4 or 5 months. And then to also take the price risk, yeah, granted, we are on our lows. Granted, we are, the low, the contract low for corn was 392 and we're at 421. It's hard to get excited about, um, you know, being 25, 30 cents off the bottom. But the risk is, what if we roll back over, take out $4, and then go back and see what's under 390? And anybody that tells you that that can't happen is not telling you the truth. I've been doing this for 33 years. I've listened to everybody's opinions and et cetera, et cetera. Lots of times the Mr. Market will do exactly what Mr. Market wants to do. Now, right now, the way that most people would get hurt, because uh, quite honestly, that generally is kind of what happens. You already have the managed funds who, they're short, but they're not massively short. They certainly aren't the reason we're down at 421 in corn. They're certainly not the reason we're down at 1010 in beans. In fact, up until a little while ago, they had actually been long little beans after that last USDA report where it turned around quite a bit. So they've been getting chopped up too. Right now, they're pretty much short across the board. So again, if that's the playing field we're going into, how do the most people get hurt that are not farmers because they're already bet short? Well, it would be a rally. So I'm not super, super, super bearish, but I do think that you need to defend the downside risk. Um, and that's kind of where we're at. So again, so for the day, corn did finish down a half cent at 421 and a half. November beans finished down 3 1/4 cent at 1010 and a half. December wheat finished down 1/4 cent at 519 and a half. Kansas City and Minneapolis did manage to be a little bit higher, but Kansas City was back down there treading water at that $5 level. These Kansas City hit 502 and 3/4. If you are long Kansas City wheat and you're going to store it, please keep a floor under it. You don't want to get in a situation where we're back down and you've done no hedging. Um, Setting a hedge is not getting bearish. It's stopping the bleeding. It's a tourniquet on a cut. Moving over real quick to the livestock. A rarity in the last 10 months, certainly for sure. We've got a red day in the cattle. Fat cattle finished down 50 cents, 238.825 in these fat cattle. We did have a 2 cent range, 235 to 233. November feeder cattle had a nickel trading range. Actually, we had 4 cent trading range. The low was 352.92. The high was 357. We settled at 353.80, down about 60 cents. We did have, surprisingly, a little bit of pressure in the hogs. Hogs had gotten a very friendly pig report last week. Very, very friendly. Pushed us to new highs. Today we went up and challenged those highs again. We did not take them out though. We settled a little bit lower. Any way you cut it, if you're long hogs, if you're a hog producer, it sure is nice to be at 94 cents than where we were back in April on the first tariff flip down at 75. So that's what we're here to do. We're not here to call the top. We want to make sure that we're defending that $20 worth of revenue gain that we've seen since the April low. That's really what good hedging is about. You're already bet long. You're already a net long speculator if you're a rancher, if you're raising animals. So I would say this: defend, defend, defend. Let's see what happens here tomorrow. Hopefully, we get some good news. But again, Nobody can tell you for sure what is going to come off of that USDA report. Everybody has opinions. Um, at the end of the day, you can't buy your gasoline for your truck, or you can't buy food for your family if your opinions are wrong. So it's not a situation where you want to be betting the house either way, one way or the other. I would say I want to be defending, and whatever your risk is, cover it up on paper. You can do a 4-day option. You don't have to spend a lot um, to have a little bit of peace of mind here going with this report. That's about it. This is Chris Robinson. If you're looking for help, give me a call 312-638-8868. I will be sending out my private client webinar tomorrow night after the report. So if you're not getting that already, sign up and take a look. Have a great night.